Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations Part 14. In the previous video we got into the final phase, it feels like, of the Chapter 2 trial. We have basically almost proven that Luke Atme is the murderer, but we haven't proven it enough in time, and it seems like they're gonna maybe let him get away. We're gonna need some sort of last-minute maneuver to save the day. The controller is not connected. Here we go. Are there any objections? He's sorta... And I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atme! There we go. I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, is this what was on your report card every year? Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result? How did you... Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Because we get paid irregardless of the outcome. That voice! No way! Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! Yeah, that's your name. I wasn't gonna say Maya. This is the true power of the crange handling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Also, she's like got much taller. We haven't really explained how the hell that works, but shut up. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine... Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today? Yes, that's true, but... Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask, as my verdict will verify that. Just as Rhonda Lights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? I've run out of coffee. Nothing. Okay, so he knows Mia. Then. That doesn't really help us figure out an identity. But it seems like he knows Mia, which is interesting. Oh, Sir Lawyer, looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, Luke Let's hear it. Ah! It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then, Mr. Luke Atme. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. The last testimony. Why do I feel like that's a lie? Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zavai! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything. Seem. But of course. But, how'd you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over the documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer. Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hey, hang on a sec, just one chance? Ha! It seems the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix? There isn't any evidence that contradicts that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix. Pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out the case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Well, that's gotta be Cup 17, dude. Yeah. The last cup. It seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradiction remark and press it. Yeah, okay. You only get one chance. I don't know why we're being like so blatant over... I mean, it's not the first time we've had to just press a statement. Like, in this game alone, much less the series. I mean, I can kind of understand if it was the first time in the game, but like, they've already made us do sections where you don't actually present evidence. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination. Mr. Atmey, about this last remark.
Objection.
Oh, could we not just press anything randomly? Oh, we're not supposed to go through it one by one? Okay, we don't get to press every little statement. Alright. So it is a little different then. I said this before, there's still one thing you haven't proven. The scum was in Kane Bullard's office that night. Now, it's time for me to drink my last cup. I will hold you to the end of your oh my god, that's so dumb. I mean, like, I don't necessarily hate that they penalize you for it, but... like... does it really have to just completely wipe out all your HP? And I can't load the save. Can't load the save. Oh my god, so dumb. And so you would have to completely redo the entire trial, right? Like, that's the way it's supposed to work normally. I mean, like, I like these games, but they are fucking bad games. Also, this is not the most recent save?
Objection.
Like, not even close? Like, you know, last video when I said, I do kind of like that there are some gameplay elements? Yeah, no, fuck that. The gameplay elements are, like, kind of bad. And not well done. Am I salty? Yes. But, like, I feel like the actual mechanical level of the gameplay and the decisions has just gotten worse in these games. Like, the first game was really good for the most part. A lot simpler, but I feel like there were a lot less just nonsense contrived situations where you fail. Any second now. Any second now. Any second now. Any second now. One of these days we'll get to play the game again. Any second now. God, so fun. So very fun. Another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. Thanks to the keycard and wallet, I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. Victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. I mean, that seems like really dumb, but I don't know if that's a contradiction. I mean, I know we're not supposed to present evidence, but like, I feel like this did just like being like, oh, dude, I'm just gonna make up a reason why this doesn't work. Like, I don't know. That feels like it's not really a contradiction per se. Only sounded once. It did only sound once. And there are no fingerprints. Now, I don't know how he knows about the keycard and the wallet. I mean, he did say that the police he got to see the police report, so I guess that would explain it. Knowing about the date beforehand. About this last remark? Nope. Okay. Truly, truly horrendous. I'm just flabbergasted.
Objection!
So bad. I mean, they specifically mention how would he have known it only sounded once, so I mean, that's not the contradiction, I don't think. Even though that feels like it should be. Or like, it should be something that he shouldn't have had access to information-wise, but I feel like they explained that with the dialogue already. But why would the killer sound it? I mean, it's like, of course his stuff doesn't make any sense because it's not the truth, but like, I don't know.
Objection!
How do they lock you in? And like, I'm so desensitized now. I don't even, like, I can't even bring myself to care to think, which is just compounding it and making it worse.
Objection.
I mean, I feel like that should work. Wait, is this different dialogue? Because, like, my idea is that he shouldn't know that... Well, because, like, there's been stuff that's been mentioned, like, things that he shouldn't know that has been mentioned in the trial itself, and it hasn't been brought up as, like, weird. But, like, the whole idea here, right, is that he shouldn't have known that he was in his mask-to-mask outfit because he wasn't here in the trial to learn that information when it was mentioned. But there's been a couple different times, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's been a few different times where he's referenced information that happened in the trial and no one called him out on it. So, like, I didn't know if that is actually was a real contradiction or just the storytelling not being super clear. Mr. Adme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it? Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn that fact? That Ron Delight was dressed as mask-to-mask when he went to the scene of the crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. That's right, the defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Because, like, I didn't really think about it until, you know, right before I presented it. But there was a few, like, that was one of my thought processes when looking through the prompts, was that he has already referenced, like, knowing stuff that he shouldn't, and it hasn't been called out, so I didn't know if that would count, per se. Like, I didn't know what would count as information he's not supposed to know. Because, like, I mean, can't remember another one. I don't know, let's just keep moving. There is no way that you should have known about that. I mean, I don't like getting bogged down in the complaints, but, like, I kind of feel like I have to because it annoys me. We were in the next courtroom being tried. You were in the next courtroom being tried as mask to mask. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Well, come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And it's those chances I want to discuss next. That night Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out. Only one way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Delight never saw its attacker. So there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme. It's with this statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible! Oh my god, who could have... I mean, I know it's not really supposed to be a secret, but... Detective Atme, you were the master mask of the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Rhonda Light. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Bro, I just don't got the energy, man. Take a good look, everyone! Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. You've already used this line. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Rhonda Light. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Rhonda Light. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Excuse me. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Hello. Oh, didn't realize you were still there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict. I know, you never committed any murder, but you did steal, so you're still gonna die. Ha ha! That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but... I really am Master Mask! Ah! So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mention it... I've been careless. Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. The defendant can never be tried twice for a crime which he was once found innocent. Then Master Mask is really innocent? I guess it would depend on whether or not it was actually... Because technically he was never... No, they did actually do a verdict of not guilty, I think. So I guess that would technically work there. But at the same time, it could just be that, like, you know, the case is dropped. Is how it would probably really work. It would seem so, for now. But for now... Now then, granted, it only actually... He would only have been found not guilty of the theft of the urn. You could still technically try him for the theft of the jewel, which he did do, and admitted to doing. Because, I mean, that's not how... Like, it's not a blanket level. If you get unconvicted or you get found innocent of one murder, you can do all the murders, right? Just because he's found innocent of one theft doesn't mean you couldn't try him for all the others. I mean, it's not like a big deal. I mean, it's like a very minor, like, nitpick thing, but, Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Master Mask after all. You did it, Phoenix. Why do I not feel good about it? Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. On the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Korean channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia. Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all this has happened. I mean, we still, like, there are still some stuff that was never really mentioned, like what the hell was with the sword? Because, I mean, I thought it was that the sword was used to kill Cain. Like, that was never really brought up again. It was something else. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, this. Like, the prices, like, being so low. Because I thought it was supposed to be this was, like, the payment Master Mask was receiving for stealing stuff, but he said he only got 10,000 for stealing one of the things, so I don't know. They didn't really go over... Actually, we never used Cain's list the entire trial, did we? I don't think it was ever used. I don't think, was there anything else that was never used? I think everything else got used. Yeah, we used the buzzer record. And did we ever actually use Ron's testimony? I know I got brought up, but I don't feel like I ever presented it. I think we did, though. Yeah, paint marks and urn box were also never used. And the sacred urn wasn't used in the... Well, it was used in outside. It wasn't used in the trial, but it was used in that dialogue with what's-her-name. Just be happy already. Maya, you've been cleared of murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask? I did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. Thought she would leave me for sure. But that's why you became Master Mask. Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick? Oh, is this where we use the urn? I was just saying, we don't use the urn, dude. Really? Can we go back to the way things were before? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can. I kinda wish you would check with me first. Mr. Light, even if a bowl is broken, there is always a way to put it back together. Sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. Also, they never went over why the hell he decided to steal the urn in the first place, considering it had no value. I mean, I guess there's still a chance that it'll come up and be important, but... I mean, I guess it could have to do with that whole, like, revenge arc that was teased in the last game with, the ant. Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are! Mr. Light. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but, suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you quit KB Security. I never imagined that you'd really Master Mask either. Mr. Light, what are you gonna do now that you know? You're not gonna really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast, there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. Okay, note to self, thieves, not sneaky in the slightest. Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. Okay, yeah, I mean, I suppose that checks. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy? Yeah? I'm really glad I asked you to help defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. You know, you could really thank us? Money. Which can be exchanged for goods and services. Take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, Mr. Maya, congratulations! Oh no. Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife in front of Mr. Maya! No, you got it all wrong. I'll never forgive you. Never, ever. And just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together, but I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. I mean, I just feel like a lot of stuff was not really, like, answered there at all. Like, just even within the confines of the case. Like, how did the dude know that Atme was the one blackmailing Mask to Mask? Why did Ron have the letter in the first place? That really feels like it's missing, like a significant chunk of its plot. I liked the episode or the chapter trial case up until basically the last bit of the trial. I didn't like the last bit of the last trial there. Everything else was very good. But the mechanics of the trial being kind of needlessly convoluted, and combined by the fact that it didn't really answer a lot of the questions, I don't know. I don't know how much I like it, like, now that we're finished, but in the process, I liked it a lot. That's enough! This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. It wasn't me! I swear it wasn't me! The evidence and the testimony you have seen and heard are conclusive. The victim was alone at his table when he drank from that poisoned cup of coffee. No, you're wrong! I know what I saw! I saw... Poisoned coffee. I saw someone else there. A man. He's the real killer. Bro, it's like Yakuza Phoenix, right? Why won't anyone believe me? Well, I'd say that pretty much wraps this case up, wouldn't you? Mr. Wright? This court finds the defendant. Okay, just skip to the chase and go to the conclusion we all know is going to happen. January 6th. Okay, last case was October, right? Ah, the start of a new year always makes me feel like I can take on the whole world. So is that a flash forward and this is a flashback, or is this after what we just saw? I bet it does, Maya. I've decided that our resolution should be Zavari, take on the world. What do you think? Sure, whatever, Maya, but I think maybe you've had more than enough of mistletoe cake. Never! You've got to eat a lot of cake during the New Year's. It's practically a tradition. Like watching the fireworks on TV or playing a board game. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe. Happy New Year, Detective! Likewise. Now listen up, Wright, here's to another fruitful year of lawyer-police cooperation. Yeah, me too. Alright, pal, you've got some explaining to... Have you got a holiday present for me, Detective? What? Well, here, have this. It's a stick of gum off my shoe. It's nothing much, really, but... Oh, yay, thanks! Look, pal, we need to have a talk. Take a seat. Hey, what about Pearly? You haven't forgotten her present, have you? No, I mean, yes, I mean, no, are you doing this on purpose? Guess I'm busted. How'd you like my first practical joke of the year? Very funny, pal. Now let's see how funny you think it is when I show you this. What is it? A magazine? Hey, I want to see. Deadly poisoning brings guilty verdict. Defense attorney Wright trounced. Trounced? Okay, so this is after what we saw? Let me see that. The defense attorney gave an almost childishly amateur performance yesterday. What the heck is this? It's a report, pal, about you. Listen to this. Mr. Wright must take full responsibility for ruling in this case? Well, and don't tell me you don't remember anything about... Oh, is it not actually like an imposter Phoenix Wright? But I don't remember anything about it. When was this issue from anyway? December of last year, which I guess makes it last month. Which makes it old news, you mean? But I wasn't involved in any poisoning case in December. So what do you think about all this is about, Nick? If it wasn't you, pal, then that leaves only one possibility. A spooky ghost. No way, you don't mean... A phony Nick! Isn't that just regular Nick? This must be Gumshoe's idea of a joke. Guess he's starting the year off with one, too. Article from December 5th says I was trounced and my client was found guilty. So, what are you gonna do about it, pal? What do you mean, what am I gonna do about it? Well, it's your fault the judge found the defendant guilty in this case. Is it? My fault? How do you figure that? Because the Phoenix Wright is super famous now. Well, maybe only sort of. I mean, actually no one knows about you. Which is why there's no customers beating down the door. We only ever find cases when we go looking for them. Yeah, see what happens when you hotshots start getting too full of yourselves? But I didn't do anything wrong. At least not that I can remember. You better make this right, pal. Now! And that means taking the case back to court. Got it? I don't think we can do that. Do we have appeals in this universe? I don't think we can do. They've never been mentioned. Sounds like we've got our first case of the new year. Let's tackle it with gusto. I don't know. The judge already issued a guilty verdict once in this case. It's not gonna be easy to get overturned. Guess that New Year's resolution is gonna have to wait until next year. So you're taking the case, right? Good. I'm gonna head over to the courthouse then. After that, I'll go back to the precinct. Drop by if you need something, okay, pal? I guess people are starting to know the name Phoenix Wright. Client entrusted a case to me based on my reputation. Guess I am kind of responsible. But why would someone want to impersonate me? What sort of guy would do that? So, what's our first move? I guess we go down to the detention center and talk. Wait a sec, Nick! This person's behind bars because of you. Actually, they're already dead. They were shot. With this gun! Whoever it is isn't gonna be jumping the chance to meet you, right? Hey, let's get one thing straight. It wasn't me, it was a fake me that did this. I wonder if he looks exactly like you. Your phony I can't say that word. I hope not. What kind of name for an evil double is that anyway? Ah, Nick, I've got it! If you're going to ask whether I've got a twin brother, the answer is no. Spoil sport. Yeah, more of this, less if you press the wrong answer, you have to redo the entire chapter. Fuck you. We're not trying to, like, make the game, longer so that it feels like you didn't waste your money. Old, early 2000s, gameplay strategies, tactics. Did you notice Gumshoe was acting weirder than usual, or was it just me? What do you mean? I mean, he was really worked up. Like a guy who's just found out he's gonna be a dad or something. Yeah, I guess he was acting kind of strange. Maybe he realized he's got strong feelings for you, Nick. Considering how we interact, I seriously doubt that, Maya. Well, if he wasn't nervous because of you, then maybe it's because of our new guilty client? So you've still got that badge, I see. Well, I mean, I'm a lawyer, aren't I? Yeah, but I guess I just didn't think you'd keep on being in this one for this long. You have to admit, you had some pretty close brushes with death because of your job. Can't believe you've got an impersonator. I can't either. Oh, but look on the bright side. Only famous stars have people impersonating them. This isn't funny, Maya. It's not just an impersonation. This guy stole my identity. And someone may have been wrongly convicted as a result. Guess you should have gone into showbiz, huh, Nick? I never understand how your mind works, Maya. This is so nerve-wracking waiting to meet our new client. I wonder what just kind of person you tricked and got found guilty. Keep it down, Maya. That kind of talk could ruin me. Ah! How could you, Mr. Wright? How could you do this to me? They put me in solitary. I haven't been able to stop crying. Are you? Yes, I am. I'm totally and utterly let down. Who do you look like? You look like, I don't know if it's actually supposed to be. You look like Bird. The bird, like the lady from the tutorial of the last game? Wasn't she like Bird something? She kind of looks like her. I don't know if it's just because of the art style, similarities, or if it's actually supposed to be like her or someone related to her. Ah, aren't you? Don't pretend you don't know me. It's me, Maggie, remember? Maggie Bird. Wow, I can't believe I remember that. Maggie Bird? Ah. Maggie Bird, she's the policewoman I defended that one time. She was accused of murdering her lover. He was a cop, too. What are you doing in here? Didn't I get you a quit? Oh, sure, very funny. After that fifth-rate defense job, you come in here and start making jokes? Better hurry up and tell her what happened, Nick. Oh, I see. That's where we stand right now. Sorry you've been caught up in another murder. Whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. I vaguely remember her saying the same thing last time. But I don't mind. What's one more disaster in my life? At least now the real Mr. Wright is here with me. I won't let the world keep me down, sir. Alright, we'll talk to Miss Maggie Bird next time. I'm Extra Cheese 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.